feeling overwhelmed managing your social media content solo? Contrary to popular belief, you don't need to, nor should you, be doing everything yourself. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a team and streamline your workflow using Adobe Express. Okay, so step one, you got to hire some people, right? If we're talking about using a team to streamline your content creation process, you need to make sure you've got a good team in place. So how do we do that? There's a few tips that I want to share. The first is to define the roles that you're looking for clearly. For example, which tasks do you actually need help with completing? Maybe you need help with your thumbnails and therefore you're looking for a designer. Maybe you need help with your editing and therefore you're looking for an editor. Or maybe you're struggling with managing your community and therefore you're looking for a community manager. Get very clear on the tasks which need to be completed and therefore which role is best suited to complete those tasks. Next up, you need to go and find some talent. Now, there are some key places that you can go to try and find talent to fill a job role. For example, LinkedIn or freelancer websites like Fiverr, or you can do what I did and actually utilize your existing community to hire. I know this won't work for everyone, but I personally found this the best way for me to hire my team members. I basically sent an email out to my email list and said, hey, this is a job spec for a role that I'm hiring for. Respond to this with your CV if you're interested. And from there, I had a bunch of applicants. I conducted a few interviews, and within a few short weeks, I was able to expand my team. Now, if you already have your team in place, or maybe you followed those steps and now you're on your way to having your team in place, the next thing to turn your attention to is how you can actually collaborate with your teams within Adobe Express. Now, if you've been watching all of this series, you'll know that there are so many tools that you can utilize inside Adobe Express to create content efficiently, to grow your audience, and to be consistent online. In order for us to make the most of these new team members that you've just hired though, you want to make sure that you're making the best use of the collaboration features within Adobe Express so that you're all working together effectively. So here's how you can use Adobe Express to effectively work together. First up, open Adobe Express. Remember, you can get started for free. Find a project, a template, a design that you are currently working on and share it with your team member. I'm going to click one of the designs that we were working on previously in this series. I'm going to hit the share button. And as you can see, I already have 3 other people who have access to this design. If you want to add different people or groups of people, you can go ahead and type in their names or email addresses there. And once you do that, for example, let me type in my email address. You can press enter and they will receive an email like this. Now, once they receive this email, they'll be able to click the start collaborating button and it will take them through to their own Adobe Express account. From there, they'll be able to collaborate with you on the piece of content that you shared with them. So for example, one of my favorite ways of collaborating with my team is I will leave comments and feedback on any designs that they'll create. So for example, if I wasn't happy with this headline, I would go into the design, I would click comment, and I would leave a comment along the lines of, please explore, can't spell today, alternative headlines. And I might even address a specific team member by using the @ and tagging them. Then I'll click submit. And once I click submit, that comment will appear. From my team members' perspective, they'll be able to go into that design, action the feedback, and once they do that, they can mark it as resolved. You can also do things like pin different comments as well to make it really easy for your team to understand which piece of feedback needs to be actioned first. One of my favorite things about collaborating with people using Adobe Express is you can actually collaborate in real time, which basically means that you don't have to worry about going back and forth and like sharing updated assets every time you make one small tweak. Your team will be able to make changes to the asset directly and you'll be able to review them in real time. Now, when you share content with your team, you do have full control over the permissions, which basically means you can control which team member is able to view or edit which asset, which just helps to keep everything super organized. Don't forget that you can also use your brand kit to make collaboration even easier. Now, if you haven't created your brand kit already, I'm going to direct you to episode 1 of this series because I show you a full demonstration on how to create your own brand kit within Adobe Express. Then once you've created one and you've shared it with your team members, they will be able to use the same brand kit on anything that they create, which basically means that all of your team members will be creating content that aligns with your brand. It will save you so much time and so much feedback. So if you're ready to start collaborating with your team using Adobe Express, click the link below. Don't forget that you can get started with your very own free account. That does conclude my 4-part series all about growing your socials using Adobe Express. Feel free to rewatch some of the other episodes if you're ever in need of another tip or a bit of a content boost. Thank you so much for watching.